Greetings, my relatives. So here we go. We continue the sacred story that we can align ourselves with Cholkich, with the Mayan calendar. So we see in these last couple cycles is preparing for today, the Ajmak, the Day of the Children. So we had the Wakshaki Bats, then we had the Beleche Bats, the marriage in the sky, the balance of the male and the female, and now children is born. The next generation is here, and that's what we have to take care of. So in this story, it's like it starts on one Ajmak, and it goes to Oshlachuch Kanil, 13 Kanil, from the children to the future generations. 13 Kanil, the seeds are now in full empowerment, and the gift after Oshlachuch Kanil will be given. But not until we go through this story, because in the middle of this sacred mountain, the place of balance is Uku'ir, the seven breaths, the seven spirits, the seven forces, the seven winds that are born in the mountains through the exchange of the evaporation. And as we know, what does it take to have a breath of air? What does it take to enjoy fresh air, clean air? Vital. This cycle here takes us to a symbiotic relationship with our ancestors. We have had cycles of Ajmak before, where we have to honor the ancestors, pay homage to the ancestors, and now we pay homage to the children, our future. So they say that in Ajmak, with the ancestors, with some of us, the older people, the elders, well, you'll get some stories. You know, we're almost done, gone through life, and, you know, you're going to get stories. Some of the passed on stories. But with the children, with the Hun Ajmak, you have a future. So elders, yeah, will guide, will teach, but the children are your future, are our future. And so the seven breaths come. What's it going to take to give life to that essence, to that DNA that they're carrying from us? The fathers, mothers, grandpas, grandmas. The some of it we have to heal. We have to transform, because business as usual, well, we have been inherit, some of it, maybe not all is good for our next generation. So Hunachma comes, and we're going to gather the kids, the children, or if you can't do it this time in the cycle, pray for the children. Raise your pipes, pray for the futures. Think about what would you like them to how would you like them to live? What kind of water would you like them to drink? What kind of earth do you want your children to walk? In fear and war and disease and sickness and walls, limitations, or like God intended to be. Walk the land, enjoy the rivers, enjoy the ocean, enjoy the lakes, harvest what you need, give back more than you can. That's the Ajmak. This is the cycle in which what we do today, may our children harvest tomorrow. And right now we're harvesting some of the seventh generation that we have been given. Some of it is like, wow, pandemics, diabetes, people didn't take care of themselves, poison food, poison water, poison air, destroyed earth. What do we want for our children? So if we have our minds together, we can seek out each other, those with good hearts, good minds, to co-create what we call Pashil Kayala, the sanctuaries, the places where the new schools will rise, the villages of light. Grow our own food, teach our children what it needs to be taught. Not like how many bays, how many governments, what's the story, the history of the United States, in which most of it is a lie anyway. Let's teach them the real story. Let's teach them skills that they will need in life. So 8 days from now will be Wakshaki Akabal, the House of Enlightenment. Here's where the architects, after receiving the breath, given the inspiration, now we get to create, bring the sacred visions into crystallization. Akshakiya Kabal, the house of light, that's what we want to focus on. To give the kids the bundles, healed bundles, beautiful bundles, sacred bundles, instructions that they can use in their life. Not a whole bunch of A's and B's and C's that by the time they get ready to do a job, they're not prepared. They don't know what to do. They don't have no skills. Sometimes even coming out of college, there's no skills. And so, Akabal, the house of enlightenment. We want to create a house, the Akpops, the Akhais, the Malokas, raise the tipis, the Swalajas, the houses where we're going to teach. These are our schools. The walks through nature to discover. They say, go out into nature and discover your own answers. How old are you, sacred tree? Well, we're going to ask it and it will tell you. How long does it take to have a teaspoon of honey? What does that be in the flowers and the symbiotic relationship that comes through Ajmak? It takes to have 1 teaspoon of honey. Just 1 teaspoon. Think about it. So what's it going to take for us to create our own schools? We have reestablished our schools through the native peoples of our lands, to our people, to teach the ceremonies, the conduct of life, the love for life, the respect for life. Sacred schools that will continue life. Not schools to destroy the earth. So this is what we have to decide in this day of Hunachmak. We look at our children and we want what we want for them. So 9 days from now, the great Achpop Kakchikel Belechebkat will celebrate the gift that he gave us. He was a ruler, a Mayan ruler for the Kakchikel people. Belechebkat, the 9 kat, the webs of how they communicate, like this internet. We're communicating through the internet, but there is also a web of consciousness that I'm sending this prayer through. So you don't just see it and hear it, you're going to feel it. And that's what a Hunachmak comes in, is to, what do you want to connect to? Those decisions will benefit those 13 seeds, the 13 gardens that this week is going to end. This is our journey, 13 days to figure out what we want our children to receive. What do we want to connect to? What are the wisdoms and the knowledge that we want to apply and welcome into our lives, into our circles? Belechebkat, 9 like networks. The network of like the mycelium, our Katit Kamamar, our ancestors, how they connect, how they talk, how the plants talk, how the water talks, how the fires talk. That's a whole web. We're using satellites now and electrical and frequential ways to communicate, to send out this visual, the sound. Through the other web, we send feelings, we send the emotions, we send the love. that which will penetrate the five senses. Will go through because we're using the networks of life, cosmic networks, ancestor networks, the future networks that will soon enough will be even more discovering how we use our holograph to crystals and things. So 10 days from now, we will start to know ourselves. What is the energy in which we can operate in? What are now the covenants of Kang? O Lahu Kang, 10 serpents, 10 Quetzalcoatls. Can you imagine just one, what it did? One feather serpent. The great wisdom of earth is now in movement in 10 Kang. Now the energy flows through the staffs. The energy flows through our words and reaches all dimensions. So this gift, this headband from one of my first teachers, Jesus Cachiquel from San Jose Poaquil. He made short visits to us, and we travel with him for a little while. And he says one day he gives it to me with part of his bundle. And he says, what I carry, now you will carry. That's the inheritance of Ajmak. Someday I will give you this. One of you, many. This altar has to go somewhere. Whoever's there, whoever's been learning, whoever's been attentive, you will be like that. In ceremony or in prayer, says, hey, like Jesus, Tata Jesus, tell me. Hermano Eric, he says, my brother Eric. He was in his 50s, I was like 19, 20 years old. He takes off his sash, other things, and gives me part of his bundle. That was in 1978. And we never got to see him again. The military picked him up, you know. We heard that he got tortured and then his body dumped in the village from a helicopter. As an example of those who carry the wisdom, carry the ceremonies, that will be your punishment if you keep doing it. Well, we kept doing it, and yes, we lost many Ajmak, many ancestors. But many children are born now, they're carrying it, like us. I'm carrying this. I'm carrying Jesus Chacach. I'm carrying part of his bundle. And my children, some of you, will carry this medicine as well. So Hunachmak is the day now to think about your child like. Who are you as a child? Who are you embracing the children of the future? And yeah, you know, there's a lot of ideas, but it will take a spiritual action, spiritual love to shift and change who we are as a humanity today. To open up the doors to wellness, to balance and harmony, to love and peace and heart and understanding, respect and honor of life. So today, Hunachmak, may you raise your prayer and look at your children, or even thinking if you're going to have children, or maybe not, but the children of earth. All the next generations of not just humans deserve the gifts that God Creator intended for all the peoples to have. The tree people have a healthy forest. The birds, the ones who live in the waters, creepy crawlers, the insects, the great whales and the sharks and the turtles. Those are our relations. And we should be asking them forgiveness and asking them, how do we change now and shift? May the wolves and the elk teach us how to get back to being in community, to reestablish our families in unison again. Unachmak, this is the prayer coming, so that on 13 Kanil, our garden is full, is blessed with great harvest. They said those who plant a tree that will give food for the next 50, 60 years, your children will dance around that tree and will thrive in the earth. But those who think about a cash crop, your children will go hungry. And that's the wisdom of this Ajmak. So many of you maybe hear this, maybe not, maybe, think about it. What is it that we're gonna leave behind right now? Like if you crossed over tonight, we died tonight. What have you left for your children? What have you given back as a gratitude? Because after these 13 days, Oshlachuch Kanil, Juntoch comes. What is the gift that you will receive in your gratitude, and what is it that you're going to give back for this beautiful garden that Ajmak will bring you? 13 Kanil, the children around your table, laughter, beauty, abundance of food, good health, the generosity of those who, sat together to share a meal, to say to each other, we love you, and thank you. So may this happen in your house of light, in your house at these days, in this coming of the fall. We're reaching the time of the winter solstice, and there'll be an incredible journey through this. Couple more 13-day weeks, and we'll be there. Huge changes coming. But we got to think right now, am I right now able to give my children a good story? Next generations, do they have a place to have a good garden, have a place of peace, of love and generosity for each other? So may your prayer be beautiful. May we think about it, as you wish. As you wish. But there's many who are waiting for us to be the rainbow warriors, to be the responsible human beings, to be in the process of doctrine, healing, learning new morals, new covenants with life, and then especially prepared to give something back. This is Ajmak. This is the Ajmak. What are we going to give you, my children, my grandchildren? I pray we can give you good instructions. Sure, we make mistakes. Please forgive us. Please forgive me. But also listen to our words. Listen to our guidance. Listen to what we have gone through. Sometimes the advice, it seems like, I don't want to hear it. We know best. Maybe. But maybe not. Maybe we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to remember the gift that we were given by our parents, our grandparents, when they saw us, when they sang to us, when they, oh my God, look at my grandchild, my great-grandchild. This is my children. So let's pray on this. Let's be responsible. And I'll see you on the other side. I hope.